Hello and welcome back. Mr. Trump, I'm sure you get plenty of advice from your family, friends, and paid advisors and consultants and experts and pollsters and all the various political machinery that's been established by the establishment over the last 50 or so odd years. I'm hoping to give you a perspective or a viewpoint from the trenches, from the people that have suffered under the economy and under the leadership of the last several administrations. I think that and I've watched all the debates and I watch all the pundits and I read and follow everything on Twitter, so I'm not an ignorant soul when it comes to speaking about the things I'm getting ready to talk about. I believe that if you would take the advice that I'm about to give, it would make you a stronger candidate and one that would be unbeatable here in the primaries and especially in the general election. My advice would be to be positive, be kind, and especially be honest. If you can double filter all your thoughts through your mind and through your heart, I believe that you will understand what I'm getting ready to say. The entire Republican establishment, all the Democrats, and your competitors now in this race are baiting you to do that one thing that you do so often, and that is to display a mild form of arrogance that others perceive. But I, as a businessman and as a leader and a former athlete and a former captain of football teams, know that a good leader must have confidence. They must have courage. And most of all, they must be honest with themselves and their followers. And have the courage to correct those mistakes when they are made aware of it. I am telling you that if you would analyze your last several debates, the only time you faltered at all was when you stooped to the level of those criticizing you. Being positive, being kind, and being honest can answer those same demeaning slants that they throw at you just by overwhelming them with your pure openness, because I believe this is what appeals to most of the voters out there, that you come across as open and honest, and you are your own man. Therefore, going forward, and in this next debate and all the subsequent contests that you might encounter in the future, heed this advice for this reason. Jesus said, be kind, be honest, be loving, love thyself, love thy Creator, and love your competitors or others as you would yourself. Since you don't like being demeaned and beguiled, don't turn around and do it to your competitors. I honestly believe that your followers, no matter what, they overlook these small things, but they are starting to chip away at your armor. And you are the champion of the people. Now remember that. The champion of the people must be better than those they are fighting or those they're competing with. And they must have the support of their followers, and you are gaining it, and you will get more of it if you follow this advice. I wax melancholy right now in this respect because I just 2 weeks ago had prostate cancer surgery. In that hour or so before going into surgery, where they shoot you up with some stuff and you drift along, just before I went in, I was watching some of the criticisms of your campaign. And as I was lying there on the gurney in this white room and drifting around, I got to thinking. I said, the United States of America as it existed only my 72 years of life, because what America is and was is my perception. And as I perceived it, it has really deteriorated. It really has gone down. And I think the reason for it is that we've lost those values and those traditions and those convictions that I grew up with. And I know Senator Cruz likes to talk about being a constitutional conservative. I believe all of us that are Americans, true Americans, love and trust and cherish our Constitution. And I'm sure you do too. And I'm sure Senator Rubio does too. However, if a voter is honest, both Senator Rubio and Senator Cruz have been campaigning for the presidency for 3 years. They do not have the wealth of knowledge that you have as a businessman. They haven't created jobs. They haven't had to hire and fire and meet payrolls and meet budgets. And they haven't had to make the hard decisions that naturally causes some people to be hurt. They say, oh, he's gone bankrupt, or he's done this, or he's had this failed business. That comes along with the territory of being a businessman. Anyone that ever has ventured into the business world, it's an unknown, just like the future of our country is. However, you have demonstrated a track record that has some proven success. And I think the best reflection of your character and your morality is your family. I don't think anyone can criticize the great job you've done with raising your children. And I don't think anyone can criticize your business acumen, because you are successful. Successful more so than most. And I would like to see you have the opportunity to bring business practices of a CEO into operating our government. It has become so closed-minded and so self-serving that all those officials, political officials, elected officials, governmental officials, are doing nothing but trying to protect their own welfare, their own self-interest, so to speak. And over the next few months or through the election, I intend to talk to you directly, because I can't pick up the phone, and I have tweeted you hundreds of times, but I'm sure you get thousands an hour, so nothing I have said or tweeted or Facebook just made it through the morass of the millions of good, bad, and indifferent comments that are made. So I'm trying to reach out to you directly through this modern new age vehicle, the internet. And in all my previous discussions, and even in my books, I tried to explain that everything is personal. It's not business, it's personal. Politics is personal. When the bank foreclosed on my home and my house, they said, well, it isn't personal, it's business. Well, hell, it was personal to me, and it was personal to my wife, and it was personal to all the employees who lost their jobs. So you can't be that crass or naive or closed-minded as the politicians and bankers have become. They have become crass, self-serving, self-interest groups. The left wing is so closed-minded that they turn their back on all those who disagree with him. And the right wing is no different. They turn their back on anyone that disagrees with them. Now, your constituency, if that's how you say it, is the people in the middle. Those lost souls wandering between these two parties, being brainwashed by the drip of thousands and thousands of ads. I have a son in Florida who says that all you see is anti-Trump commercials, and I'm sure it's going to get worse as you go along. So please remember my advice, if you ever hear it, and that is, be positive, be kind, be honest. Thank you. and Godspeed.